My name is Chris Handy. I'm a customer marketing leader here at Drift, and today we'll be talking about the ultimate guide to building a killer sales pipeline with chatbots and conversational marketing. And if you're not familiar with Drift, those may sound like foreign terms to you. Chatbots and conversational marketing are two areas of business that are fast becoming part of sales teams' toolkits, yet a lot of sales reps that maybe are in the mindset of old dogs who can't learn new tricks tend to not pay well enough attention to. So today, what we're going to do is learn a little bit about these things, but most importantly, if you already know the power of chatbots and conversational marketing, we're going to talk through how we get people fired up about chatbots and conversational marketing here at Drift. And really just it's the approach to sales enablement and telling the story of why. So this is a story of how we get people fired up about products. And it's funny because we have followed this man right here. You may be familiar with Simon Sinek and his talk where he reveals the golden circle is highly influential as far as how you can change minds and sell ideas. If you start with the what, of the product, what you end up doing is selling widgets and inherently becoming a commodity that other folks can compete with based upon checkboxes. If you start with the why, which is the title of Simon's book, then you get people bought into the idea and the vision before you even get to the product. Now, this may sound very elementary, and we teach salespeople to sell this way, but oftentimes we don't sell the idea of how to sell products to our salespeople this way. So bringing this golden circle format to sales enablement is a key, and it is so simple, but it's not always easy. So when we approach how do we build content and tell people about new products, especially internal stakeholders like sales and customer success, what we find is starting at the opposite end of the spectrum of this. We have several graphics that we go back to again and again that help tell the story of what it is that we do. And these are embedded on almost everything that we have, right? We have the old way of traditional marketing. You go out to someone's website and you're digging around and you have to fill out a form. And after you fill out that form, basically you're waiting from there on out for things to happen on their back end, on the sales end of the other company's side. There's nothing happening now. And what Drift does is it changes all that. So there's no waiting on CRMs to qualify people and get routed, and then there must be a qualifying step, and an SDR will call and make sure that you're worthy of a conversation with an account executive. What Drift does is it allows customers to connect with the right sales reps right now. And it reduces the sales cycle in an incredible way. You are cutting down on the time that it takes to connect with customers. And in fact, if live conversations are a part of this, you are kicking off the sales conversation instantly. And this is just not something that should be discounted. So this is about the how right here. But when we launch products at Drift, we're launching a new product every Tuesday, every first Tuesday of every month. That is not easy. We have a different product in our suite, right? Chatbots are just one piece of what we do. We have all sorts of products around email, around artificial intelligence assistance. Now we're getting into conversational landing pages. There are all kinds of things that we are releasing on a consistent basis, and we have to explain those differently. So that main graphic that I showed you really shows the stark difference between using Drift and using the old way. But when we talk about individual products, we have to be able to make them real marketable moments, because that's what we call marketable moments at Drift. Every first Tuesday is a marketable moment. So it must really live up to that. Everyone must know how to market and how to bring this to market. So using Simon's Golden Circle, here we are at the why, what, and how. And if we start with just half why, that gets us almost all the way there. And leave the how, that's good, but let's leave a little what in there too, because we have to tell people what we're offering. So back to the original question, how do we get people fired up about what we have? One of my past mentors was a gentleman named Stu, and Stu was an executive at a very large company. And what Stu taught me was the feel, felt, found formula. Now, if you're in sales, you probably know this, but it's one of the things that really helped me understand sales early on. It was applied across almost the entire organization that we had back then, and this is well before I came to Drift. It was used in customer service situations. It was used over the phone in selling. It was used in person in selling. The feel, felt, found technique is, hey, I understand that a lot of people feel this way. In fact, I used to feel this way. But what I found was, and when you lead with that formula, you instantly allow your sales folks to connect with a story that they might have had before they understood the story, and they can tell it really easily. So if we can get that down, and if we can lead with that at the very beginning, it helps to sell the why, right? We used to feel that the old way was the best way because that's the best we had, and in fact, it was game changer because we had a way for automation to come into place, but what we found was it wasn't the best experience for our customers. What our customers wanted was to connect with us now. So that's why we built Drift. So it's that kind of formula that you can plug into almost anything, and it helps people to verbalize what it is that you're offering. So to lead with my personal story, I was actually a Drift customer before I joined Drift as an employee and as a member of the marketing team here. So I was a partner, and I was actually one of their first 100 customers, one of Drift's first 100 customers. And I realized what we were building, and I said, I can't do this from the other side. I need to help build this product now because it is just a rocket ship. So I include this here because I often kick things off this way so that people understand my history with the product. I've seen it grow from a live chat only experience and even a few iterations before that to having advanced automation with the chatbots and now deep Salesforce routing and all these things that have come. And there's all sorts of things coming down the pipe. What I'm excited about most is the vision of the future, which is this product. So I'm always telling my story and why this excites me, and I think that really helps to get things sold. So as we look at the way we've been taught to market, it doesn't match how we communicate today. And that's why I came to Drift. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to pull out. I start with the story. And then I come right in here with the way the world has changed, right? How has the world changed? This looks like a product marketing slide because it almost is. A product marketer is almost the same as a sales enablement professional, right? There's very little difference. You need to bring product marketing skills to your sales enablement skills. We have to be just as good at marketing our products to our internal sales reps as we are to our external customers, because they are the ones who are bringing home the revenue every day and have to communicate this to our stakeholders in the field. And that's the most important thing we can possibly do. So I'll continue back with my story. But the tools you are using are perfectly suited for a world that no longer exists, as I barrel through with this little logo here. Show proof of how the demand was born with third-party stories. This is me pulling back and saying, hey, look, at this point, We have accomplished the world setting, the stage setting. Where are we? We've already accomplished that. But what are we doing now? I need to be able to sell the idea that people are doing this. They want this. So let's dig in, right? Did you realize that sales reps are just turning and spinning their wheels with dials before they're able to get in touch with the lead? And this is someone that was already on the website. They already expressed interest. Why are we making them wait? But the most important thing is that they have to do this twice. They have to double up on that previous figure, leading to almost 24 calls before a meaningful sales conversation even takes place. How much time is this taking for sales teams to actually just connect with people who were already there before us in the first place? It leads to basically a 13% average lead to opportunity conversion rate. And then, the average is 6% opportunity to deals. But when we take into consideration how we actually go about the world, we're all in Slack or something like Slack to internally communicate. We're basically on our smartphones all day long, communicating half there, half on the computer, half in email, half in live chat, something along those lines. And at this point, we need to pause and make sure that we're calling back to personal stories on the sales rep side. I want to ask a question that forces those folks to think about what it is and how it connects to their journey and their life. How can they connect it to a personal story of theirs? This is everything. I told a personal story at the beginning. They need to tell a personal story now. So if a hot prospect texted you, how fast would you respond? If they're ready to buy, they say, hey, let's do this. I'm ready to go. How fast would you respond? Show of hands? Pretty much the response that you get is going to be about 10 seconds flat, right? So why are we not using the same way to communicate when people are on our website? They fill out a form and they wait days, weeks to connect. In fact, the connect rate is so low that we have to wait so long that all that intent and all the hot prospect aspect of what they were at that time has died away. So the conversion rate could be so much more. Take into consideration this, that no one read at least a 10x decrease in making contact with people after the first 5 minutes. So when people are on your site, they're ready. They're on this now. This is what they are working on right now. But almost no one is working on it when you try and reach back out to them. The chances that you would connect with them at that moment are very slim. Now, Drift has actually built tools to try and hit that moment so that when they come back to the site after you've already been engaging, that you can reach out to them. But in the first interaction, we have to be there. We've got to find a way to be there. And this is going to help us create a 400% increase in our odds of qualifying a lead if we can do that. 5 minutes is key, as we'll see in a minute. So we did a study, and the whole thing with that study is that most sales teams took days to respond or just ghosted us completely. But 32 sales teams, they did meet that 5-minute criteria, and we know that that's the hot time within 5 minutes to be there for them. And really, if we think back to the previous question, seconds is how long it takes to respond to a text. Seconds up to a minute, right? You get a text message, you pull it out of your phone, you pull your phone out of your pocket, and you respond. So how long does it take? Well, and this is where we show the stats. These were the top 10 fastest response times. And when people see this, they wonder, how is that possible? Well, they all had live chat or chatbots to respond in real time. And helping people understand that we are already doing this is the key moment here. This is when I take a step back and tell you this. Everyone texts, everyone sends email back and forth in rapid fire to get deals done. You're already doing this. So making sure that you have the ability to help the customer see that they can do it and connect with a sales rep right away is so key, especially when people are on the website right now with buying intent. 5 minutes or less. Let's get with them right now. And then when we show new sales reps this slide, they really get it. So coming back to this, now I can show this and people can speak to it. They can sell the vision. Would you respond if someone texted you with an order? And they'll find their own way to communicate this to customers, to communicate this to prospects. But it's asking introspective questions to sales reps in a live environment that solidifies the plans that they make themselves on how I'm going to sell this. We must do this. Why make the prospects wait? Let's go. We have to get fired up, right? This is good stuff. This is awesome stuff. We're going to help people connect with people now. We're going to accelerate revenue now. We're going to shorten your sales cycle now. So let's go. Let's do this. People get excited, right? But the key is addressing the objections you're going to get while you're speaking and helping people understand who it is and is not for. Because Drift is really for companies with sales teams or at least dedicated sales reps. Because what you want is someone to be able to make the appointment that is created for you via a Drift bot, right? If Drift bot is going to be out there booking you meetings, someone needs to be there. If you're going to incorporate the live chat element, which we absolutely recommend, then someone ought to be able to receive some of those messages should they be fit for you and should they be routed to you, because DriftBot is always qualifying and making sure you get just the right leads. So if you're not a sales team, if you want to have a touchless process where you're never going to talk with anyone, maybe this isn't exactly what you need. Although we can do a lot of things touchless with the DriftBot, we are best served when we talk to revenue teams. So this is when we get back in to what does the process look like? People need to know how to communicate. What will it look like when people come on board? Well, here are the three things, right? You're going to capture people on your website, qualify them with our bots, and then, hey, we've even got a product so that when people go to your own sales rep page, we know it's going to get routed right to that sales rep. So you don't have to worry about giving up leads or things getting routed the wrong way. People can always drive people back to the right place. So this helps people, and I'm just going to kind of blow through this because everybody can check out Drift on their own. Now we're in the product, right? Now we can start showing how does this actually work. Well, we can customize messages. We can make sure that on your phone as a sales rep, you will get a notification when your leads are back on your site. We can make sure that on your phone you can respond to people just like you can on the web. And if you email someone, when they come back to the site, your face is going to be there greeting them because you emailed them. And most importantly, anonymous website visitors, we can now see what company they work for. So this is the kind of thing you get fired up on. It's like, hey, someone's chatting in, but they're with Microsoft, but they're with big company. They're with the white whale, right? We're going after them. And then we show some figures, right? Showing them the figures. This is always a killer statement when we say, hey, look, this isn't just for net new leads. We can help you close more deals in your pipeline right now. And when we get this across to sales reps, they know how to sell it. So talking more through all of, and I'm just going to kind of fire through some of the things that we show sales reps here, hitting back home to the original message. Once again, tools you're using are really built for this old world. But now there's Drift, right? So we're hitting back on that why, and we're making sure that everyone has what they need as far as sound bites and tools as personal stories they can connect with through those introspective questions. So I'll show you this video that we prepared for sales reps to send out to get people fired up, because we're always building materials for our reps to get their own customers fired up. So you're looking to get started with conversational marketing and Drift, and you're looking for the best way to get started. How do I get my team fired up? All right, let's do it.
My favorite part about Drift is the fact that I get to talk to leads when they're at their highest intent in real time, right there on our website.
Got to get a couple people on the sales team on board. Got to get a couple people on the marketing team on board.
I love Drift because I can walk into bot book meetings when I'm at lunch.
Or when you come back from the weekend.
When these salespeople start getting more appointments on their calendar just by hooking up their Drift profile and calendar, it's going to be quite good. You're going to have other salespeople starting to come up and asking, hey, can I get this Drift thing? What is this? So let's connect. I will show you some bots if you like. You can email me. But most importantly, I'd love to swap stories on sales enablement. I work on sales enablement stuff here at Drift, closely with other folks on the sales training team. Certainly don't do that alone. The cool thing, I'm also involved in Sales Enablement Society. There's a lot of stuff going on in sales enablement world right now. And if you want to connect, let's just swap some stories and see if you can't level up. So let's go.